This tale takes place around the 1600s or 1700s, depending on where or who has told it. I have heard the original story, but this is my version of how it was told. A woman by the name of Llorona was the most beautiful of all women in her village. Her hair was black as the night sky, her skin smooth and silky as a honeycomb, and her eyes glowing with joy and passion. One day she was strolling down a road to do some errands for her family, until a prince was passing along the same road she was on. The prince, to Llorona's eyes, was a young and incredibly handsome man full of wealth. She fell in love with the prince, and the prince who saw her stopped to adore Llorona for her beauty, who would also fall in love as well. Eventually they would marry and have 2 sons together. But as the years went by, Llorona was getting older and older, and the prince resented her since the beauty she had faded away, and decided to look and date with other younger women, leaving Llorona with a broken heart and 2 kids to raise on her own. A few days went by, and Llorona was taking her kids to see their dad. Their dad was with another woman, and when the kids saw their dad, they ran with joy towards him. The prince would play and care for his sons, but he would never look at Llorona, nor would he pay attention to her. Llorona, seeing it, was hurt and enraged that the prince used her to birth heirs to his throne, and only loved her beauty instead of her true self. After their visit, Llorona would take the children to a nearby river, and there she would commit her crimes. When the kids were near the river playing along the bed, her heart filled with rage and mind full of hatred towards her once husband, would shove them in the river, where they would struggle to swim within the current, and would eventually drown. Realizing the crime she did, and the guilt she had after, she threw herself in the river to try and save her sons, but it also succumbed her life as well. All 3 of them would drown. But in some cultures, if you committed 2 sins, such as murder and suicide, at the same time, you would be cursed to wander the earth. La Llorona in Spanish means weeping woman. She would roam near bodies of water such as creeks, rivers, or lakes, looking for her lost sons, and to know if she was around, you would hear her wails in the wind. There is also a way of summoning her as well. Go to a river or a lake and say the words, La Llorona, I have your sons or children, in English or Spanish 3 times, and she will appear. But be warned, if she sees that you don't have her children, you would be her next victim. A way to banish La Llorona, once you have summoned her, is to pray for protection. Once you finish your prayers, she will vanish. Now, also in some variations, La Llorona is a spirit that also represents a warning or a form of prevenances to death. If you hear her wailing in the night, that means she is looking for her sons or looking for her next victim. If you see her, don't go towards her. Don't say anything. Hold on to your crucifix. Hold on to whatever religious artifact you have or your faith. Pray for protection and she'll fade away. Now, this is more likely an urban legend, not a real thing, but if you want to learn more about La Llorona, there will be a video about her story from Snarled in the link in the description below, and some origin stories behind her story. So, without further ado, see you in the next episode.